Hello everyone. So we are at 10 subscribers. We have a good bit of viewers coming in, 10 viewers, 10 subscribers on the channel so far. I just want to say that's 10 actual people, 10 real life people going day by day, doing their daily routines, and in a way it's amazing to see that I could post and find an audience. So we are here now. What I was saying before is true with the lines theory and how all of us are connected. So today will be no different. Today I'm going to discuss about how we don't need anything complex to really live, like if we as people didn't have any tools, like our phones, our vehicles, the simplest tool, you could think about any tool really. Clothes, not really clothes, I guess to an extent. Should not use that as an example, but like any tools, even language is a form of tool. So what I'm trying to say is that I see a lot of fat people, I should say, these days, and the amount is actually extraordinary. I was actually becoming fat I think a year ago. I put on a lot of size, and that was because I started to get comfortable. Because if you think about it, the age that we're living in is the age of comfort. We don't really need to lift our finger. We don't really need to live our lives anymore because it has so much different entertainments, and it's like everything just so automated. It's so easy just to sit down and just take in content. It's just so easy. It's so entertaining, it feels good, and all these things. But after a time, it begins to feel, it doesn't feel natural. So let me just open text document here because I want to share this as a actual long form video, so I may edit this into a long form video in the future. So right, let me just have something running in the background. So we live in an age where everything is so easy and so automated that it's actually scary. Right, so let me just change the screen here. So yeah, so that is what I was trying to get at here. So yeah, right? We live in an era where everything is readily available. And we don't have to work as hard for it. Right, so that is what I feel like right now. You know, the more that we as humanity get closer to tools and stuff like that, is the further we get from what actually matters, like our physical health, you know, mental health, and we begin to see less of nature, of the natural order, because like if you watch animals and trees and all these things, they are just 100% of themselves. They don't depend on tools or any external values. They don't need devices or anything like that. They're just 100% themselves, right? It's actually amazing that they don't need a complex things to function. They just need actual raw strength, like day to day moving, being active. I guess that is what I'm hinting at, right? So I'm building the YouTube channel off of just that complex, just a natural complexity of just being, really how to fake, how to fake anything. You're just being, post and build a community where it ought to pretend to be somebody. You just ought to be yourself, be 100% you. Okay, so I'm going to put channel goals here. Building community, promote fitness and health, promote nature, promote living well. I guess that's the goals really. So building community, promote fitness and health, promote nature, promote living well. Alright? So that's the goals of this channel. promote ideas. Promote ideas. Whether either large or small, just promote whatever on your mind, Cause in this so temporary that is actually amazing. As I say in one of my live streams, football came and gone. That was 4 years. And 4 years of my life just passed like in 2 twos. And what I really set out within myself, what I really wanted, it didn't really come true. But I still accomplished a lot, but it really feels as fulfilling as if I did accomplish what I wanted within myself, like, yeah. Guess that was part of it. So all these videos with nature and stuff, you know this one natural. So I had to promote my health first. The reason I really met this live stream today is partly to promote the channel, see like what goals I have in mind. The community building, fitness and health, nature, living well and sharing ideas. And the other part is to see how I'm going to accomplish these goals without getting burnt out. Alright, so what I am set to do is to understand that, as I was talking about nature, I just noticed like they don't need tools, right? And and the reason that is because they are always active, and that they don't really have as complex way of living as us human beings. So what I'm hinting at here now is that I have to be more active and just focus on what I need rather than what I want, because the moment you start putting what you want over your needs is where the problems start to begin, because you spend more time wanting. To want is not a bad thing to really say, but it is, if it outweighs your needs, that is where the problems arise. Because what you want is not really as important as your needs. Naturally, it's naturally not as important as your needs. Alright, what you want is never as important. Is most times. right? So I have to make a note of that. So what you want is what you want is most times never as important as what you need. As what you need. It's most times never as important as what you need. Alright? What we need is the same thing, same fundamentals as what animals and trees and everything that is alive needs, you know, because nothing changes on every scale and all of us are essentially the same, right? So what we need is just food, water, you know, sunlight, and the essentials is what I'm saying is the needs. And the want aspect is what you choose to do when the day passes, right? So I just wanna create a picture to draw out what I'm trying to see here. Right? To draw out what I'm trying to see. Alright, so we within ourselves and with everything around us function on, you know, building blocks of cells and organs and all these different systems coming together to create a whole, right? Because that is needed, that is essential, and that is the way of life. Okay. So, right. So what we eat slash consume is all that what really matters to us, is what I'm trying to hint at. That is all that really matters to us. Right? Because the words that we speak, the things that we do, it is because we eat, we consume, and we stay in that mode of network. Right? If it wasn't for food, water, and the essentials, we would not be able to advance to the level that we are at today. The first set of tools that we had was spears and hunting devices, and from that we innovated and went up the ladder. We had an exponential amount of food, and therefore we didn't have to spend more time hunting, and so the mind wandered to more ways of evolving, of evolution, and so on. Alright, so we are in 2026 now. Food is everywhere. Now what matters now is the quality of the food and so on. The quality, the quantity, whether you're eating under stress, whether you exercise and you eat, whether all these things. But the essential food is there. Right? Don't have to worry about food anymore, and that is why it has so many different people that getting sick off of food and stuff like that. It's the overconsumption of the food. Right, and not just the food, but as how the population doesn't have to worry about food anymore. It's the perfect breeding ground for creating more babies and so on. You know, just like when the rainy season comes around, sometimes population of insects, birds and all these things go up, because when it was scarce they had to focus on rationing and sparing. Right, hope you understand. Hold on. Right, so just like how we don't have to focus on food anymore, our mind focuses on stuff that fills up that gap of the importance of food, essentially. Right, so we tend to fill up our lives with other things, right? Things that we want rather than what we need. And because we could just create what we want, because we reach so far and reach so advanced, or so we think, you know, we essentially create our own problems, so to say. As with once upon a time when we hunted for food, there were problems to solve. It's the same thing happening now, where nothing changes, as I say with my theory of scale and perspective relativity. Right, so right, so the goals now of my channel, I kind of went off on a rant there. The goals of my channel to accomplish these goals, I first need to focus on what I need, and so once I focus on what I need, I will function more whole as a human being. You know, I will be more of nature, of natural, be more of myself is what I'm trying to get at here, because I have that solid firmness, you know, that the understanding that what I want, it will be more refined because I already have what I need. And so once I understand what I need, what I want will be more clearer and it will be more refined, you know, because it's like this. Say I am, it have many different people out in this world, right? What I should do is do a video on that, you know, going over different types of people in this life and so on, like that. I should actually save that as a video idea, you know. So it have people, you know, getting by, living day by day, right? And what I getting at here, I don't know what I'm getting at truly, but you have to set a high standard of your need to get a high standard of what you want. You have to consistently get what you need, because what you need keeps you alive and keeps you solid, flowing. And you know, the more high quality of your needs is the more high quality of your wants, is what I'm getting at here. Alright, take for example, any animal in the kingdom, right? In animal kingdom, in nature, right? Take for example a bear that always beats you, always beating up the other bears in nature. That bear didn't automatically get there that day. That bear had to, you know, hunt every day, be on the move every day, and fight more than the average bear. Hence why he has, you know, the combat skills and all of these things, because he has the experience, you know. He has that experience because he understands that he needs to be the best. He understands that he needs and wants to be the best. He needs food, he needs, you know, all the essentials to stay alive. You know, it's like a drive within you that gets stronger and stronger. Right, so day by day the bear hunts, looks for different avenues, practices fighting, and the more that he gets what he needs is the stronger. You know, the more that he gets protein from a fish is the more refined and stronger defined his muscles get, and the more his wants get more feasible, more achievable, I should say, more achievable. wants. Alright, so it's like this: you get what you need, and what you want will automatically attract to the person that you're becoming. You know, your needs outweigh your wants, because at the end of the day, without your needs, there is no you. Right? Without food, without rest, without exercise, is the more sickly you become, the more unhealthy, the more deficient you become. Right? You can't function effectively without your needs. Right? Now, with how things going at the moment, majority of persons, they don't even want to walk. Sometimes the tools are so addictive, they're so effective that we take our human body for granted. Our human body was made for movement. It needs movement. You ever oversleep a morning and you wake up with a headache? That's because your body needs to wake up and it needs to move. I believe that happens because your mind has too much energy pent up. Or it could be that how you didn't eat for an extended period of time, and it could be a combination of a lot of things. But the answer is that it could be is a combination of excess energy, of no food, of not getting what you need on time. Right? So it's all of these combinations of that. Right? So what you want needs, your needs and what you want need to work off of each other. Right? You can't want something that messes up your needs. You can't want what is that example? You can't want to be healthy. You can't want to be healthy if you keep eating garbage. You can't want better if you keep doing bad. You can't all you have to do is just do things natural. Believe that is it for now. What's hard to see? I wrote this yesterday. Right, because yesterday I just kind of slowed down watching around me, watching people around me. Right, it might be a little bit rambly because it is no autocorrect, just natural writing off the top of my head. Okay. Right. Every human being are animals. Literally, we come from nature. I guess most of us are too proud to realize it. What sets us apart from natural animals are tools. and the use of our minds. Some of us are so consumed in society that it becomes the only things that we see, and that's the only thing that we believe. Like a dog that was confined to a pen its whole life, and when it finally gets to go outside of the pen, it doesn't want to leave it because it feels safe. You stay in the pen and you keep getting food on time, you keep getting everything on time, and the pen works. You're afraid of the outside world because it's challenging and all these things, right? We live in an age where everything is readily available. Everything. With food, women, vices, anything we want, we get it in tutus. That's why it's so hard to focus, because everything we want, we need, everything we need. Yeah, whatever. Let me keep reading. But the truth is, what we want is sometimes far from the basic necessities of what we need, right? So what we want is far from what we need most times. The more we want is the less we feel that we need certain things, right? As tools replace the basic function of the task, of that adrenaline of needing the item, right? So I'll drop some examples here. I don't want to cook, right? Example number one, I don't want to cook, so I buy food instead. I don't want to walk to a certain place, I drive instead. I don't want to get a girlfriend, I watch videos online instead. The world of human creation is ironically replacing the natural function of the human body for those who are too weak-minded, right? It replaces the aspect of which we need, to be active, to think strategically, to think critically. It replaces all these things, because whatever we want, whatever we need, we could just search it and get it without any hard work, right? No, what I saying is, no, you know what I mean, right? Animals Most animals don't use tools. Even when they do, it is not even 0.0001% of the level that we are on as humanity. Right? And getting back to what I was saying about the innovation of this channel, I wrote a little part here. I just need to focus on what I need. What I need is nature. I am an animal at heart. All I need is food, exercise, rest. Life is simple. We create variables to make it complex. Okay, that is all I really wrote. This is all I really wrote here for now. Alright, so it's that simple. You just have to be your own number one fan to critically think about your life decisions, what you want, but mostly what you need, and from that, more of what you want will come your way. Okay, your needs outweigh your wants. That is the number one rule, because you as a person, you are whole, and what you need. It keeps you alive, keeps you functioning, keeps you healthy, keeps you you. Okay, 100% you. Alright, so I believe that's it for now. I believe that's it for now until whenever again, because these ideas I get randomly and I feel the need to live stream it. I may start to make videos of it because I feel like I want I feel like I need to watch more of myself, right? As I posted in my last video, the poem, I need more of myself, right? So I need to watch more of myself, right? Rather than other people and other videos. Right, watching more of myself, the channel will become more refined and more up to par, up to standard. Right, so yeah, that's it for now. Until next time, still want to do some research on video games and music and all these things, but that's it for now. Right, remember that we come from nature, and that society was invented just like a tool made for hunting, just like, and yeah,